Hello there, very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on TV1. I'm Martin Sathinis and for the news first, where the people come first. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this afternoon. Army officers assaults man at filling station for unruly conduct. The process to issue token is over. Next diesel shipment to arrive on the 12th of July. Is Namal Rajapaksa a shareholder of a Qatari company? Why is the president silent? Questions MP Vimal Veeravansa. Suspect in Bastian Mawata shooting shot dead. Deadly bus accident in India claims 16 lives. Now the stories in detail. The Supreme Court today ordered the Attorney General to prepare a report detailing the sectors that have been given priority in fuel purchasing and distribution. The Attorney General was ordered to submit this report before the 12th of July 2022. The Supreme Court made the order after taking into consideration two fundamental rights applications filed by the Bar Association of Sri Lanka. The applications were called up in the presence of Justices Vijit Malalguda, Mahinda Samayawardana and Arjunobe Sekara. Moving along, Sri Lanka's fuel crisis is worsening to a level where unarmed people are being subject to beatdowns from police and military personnel while waiting in line for fuel for days. It is reported that these ugly scenes are taking place when the police and military personnel attempt to obtain fuel, disregarding the fact that the common man has been waiting in line for days to access limited amount of fuel.
This incident, where the commanding officer of the Vahara Army camp in Kurunegala kicked back a man, took place when people who were in line for many days questioned why they were not given fuel and why the military was obtaining fuel. The incident took place at the Yaggapitiya filling station located along the Dambulla Kurunegala main road. Sri Lanka Army spokesperson Brigadier Nilantha Premaratna, speaking to Newsfirst, said the army had launched an internal investigation on the Lieutenant Colonel alleged to have carried out the assault. The army spokesperson said that the incident had taken place when a group of people who had scolded military personnel in profanity were being escorted to the police. He said that two people who behaved in an unruly and violent manner were handed over to the police, adding that a certain group is attempting to create such incidents by bringing disrepute to the army. A tense situation arose at the Lanka IOC filling station in Hatton when priority was given to the three-wheeler taxis that operate in the Hatton town. Heated exchanges were also reported at a filling station in Ampara. Security forces intervened to distribute petrol that was delivered to the Lanka IOC filling station in Vaskadua, Kalutara this morning. People were seen waiting in line for petrol and diesel at the filling stations in the Ambalangoda town today. The managing director of Lanka IOC, Manoj Gupta, told Newsfirst that the token system for fuel was suspended due to certain issues. However, a spokesperson for the Lanka IOC filling station owners said that fuel will be sold for tokens today. The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation said that a diesel shipment will reach Sri Lanka on the 12th of July. Uwais Mohammed, the CPC chairman, told Newsfirst that a shipment was ordered from a Singapore-based company. In addition, a shipment from Malaysia will reach Sri Lanka on the 20th of July and attempts are being made to secure the arrival at an early date. Ceylon Petroleum Storage Terminals Limited said that it would provide fuel for essential services today as well. Sri Lanka continued to wait in line for LP gas. A large number of people were seen gathering at the Kahatapitiya grounds in Galle after a rumour spread that a LAF's gas delivery would be made today. The people have been waiting in line since 5 a.m. However, Sri Lanka police informed the group that such a delivery would not take place today. Thereafter, the group of people who visited the location for LP gas purchases had to head back home empty-handed.
As Sri Lanka's economic nightmare continues, the country's fuel supply is shrinking, and authorities are struggling to cope with hundreds of thousands of people forced to wait in line for fuel.
Due to the fuel shortage, even the maintenance activities of essential services came to a standstill. Personnel attached to the Horan office of the National Water Supply and Drainage Board were unable to attend to essential maintenance activities due to fuel shortage. A frequent sight in Haliyal today was people travelling in buses exceeding the bus capacity, thus risking their lives. The Ministry of Industry and Commerce has announced that lorries transporting and distributing goods to economic centres can obtain fuel from approved fuel stations. Accordingly, a name list of filling stations managed by the Tri-Forces are released to cover all the 11 economic centres island-wide. Fuel for vehicles attached to Ratmalana and Narahimpita economic centres can obtain fuel from the Ratmalana Air Force Camp, while the Army Engineer Division in Mattegoda is assigned to the Meegoda economic centre. Malua 53rd Brigade is assigned to distribute fuel from the Damulla Economic Centre.
The Samagi United Trade Union Centre alleges that a petrol shipment moved away from Sri Lanka due to an issue in commissions.
When
they understood that it was difficult to enter into agreements, they decided to go for spot purchases. This is now formula to increase the cost and also includes demurrages. Sri Lanka has not settled $800 million. They got their associates and some in the top management of CPC also involved in this scam. The shipping company then tells that amount of fuel that is with them. That brings in Laserhead. The shipment came from Russia with links to a Qatar-based company that is also linked to a powerful politician here. The reason why the shipment did not turn up was because the commission was increased. When the shipping company realized they cannot pay, they left.
Unsolicited proposal. කතා කරලා ගසා කෑමි හොයාගත්තු සූත්‍රේ. ඒකට මුදල් ලැබෙත්තුමා නිත්‍ය බලීතු.
Former Minister Namal Rajapaksa convened a media briefing in Colombo today. He expressed views regarding the health of his father, former Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa.
Every 3 to 4 months, some news regarding his health is being circulated. I believe such news items must be published after verifying. Fake news should not be created. The health of the former president and former prime minister is normal. Therefore, I believe we must not aggravate, provoke or mislead the public.
Namal Rajapaksa also responded to claims made that he was a board member of Qatar-based oil firm.
During the recent past, news items cited that a person by the name of Namal Rajapaksa was a board member of a Qatari company and that was circulated on social media. Neither me or my family has any sort of connection with this company. The company has released a special statement regarding the person with the name Namal Rajapaksa. Without calling each other thieves or accusing each other, let's focus on meeting the needs of the people. If there are any issues, seek justice through legal means by filing filing a complaint at the CID or at the police headquarters.
People engaged in protests dubbed the kitchen lament at the Ambalangada bus stand this morning. This protest, organized by Women for Basic Rights, was held in front of the Ambalangada bus station. The protesters demanded the immediate resignation of the Gota Ranil government. MP Vimal Veerawansa, speaking in Parliament today, questioned why the Parliament was convened to raise 50 pre-prepared questions. He told Parliament that many MPs are facing issue in returning back when leaving home for sessions. The MP even questioned the absence of the President from the public eye at a time when the country is facing a serious crisis. He said that an all-party governance must be established to win the confidence of the people and the world. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena told the House that the decision to summon Parliament was reached at the party leaders' meeting. MP Lakshman Kiriyalla from the Samagi Jana Balavege stated the opposition is prepared for talks on an all-party government. Although the newly appointed Minister of Investment Promotion informed the general public that the congestion to obtain passports will be reduced, people who arrived at the regional consular office in Kandy were severely inconvenienced today. It was announced that the one-day service will be implemented in Vavuniya, Matara and Kandy districts from today with the intervention of the new Minister of Promotion, Dhammika Pereira. However, there are still delays in providing the service. Although the people who reserved dates via online system came to the Kandy office today, only 100 of them were able to submit their applications. Others have been given dates to come back in a month's time. The question raised by the people is that if the Immigration and Immigration Department services are limited to providing dates only, which can be done over the phone or via the online system, why are people asked to visit the department in these times of transportation difficulties? Meanwhile, issuing a statement, the Foreign Ministry stated the Consular Affairs Division of the Foreign Ministry will be open to the public on all 5 weekdays. The statement added that the regional consular officers in Jaffna, Matara, Kandy, Trincomalee and Kurunagala will also follow the same working arrangements.
News First with the people.
The JVP and the Frontline Socialist Party commented on a letter purportedly sent by the IGP to the Defence Secretary that included intelligence-related content.
JVP leader Anukumar Dissanayake said the IGP had sent a letter to the Defence Secretary on the 27th of June 2022 stating that on the 5th and 6th of July a foreign intelligence service will attempt to detonate bombs in either the north or east during the Black Tiger commemoration. He said that the letters note that it is attempted to blame the LTT for these attacks and that the VIPs in the north and staff from foreign agencies have been told not to attend any event on those 2 days. Dissanayake said the government must disclose to the country the information that it received and how the information was received, and if not, this is an attempt to suppress the dissent against the government. He said that the letter also notes that the JVP and other opposition groups are attempting to launch attacks on politicians and MPs. Anukumar Dissanayake said attempts are being made to curtail the people's protests against the government. He alleged the government, rather than solving the issues in the country, is merely attempting to tarnish the various political movements through such petty efforts, or maybe even wanting to create such a situation in the country. Dominda Nagamo from the Frontline Socialist Party, also speaking on the same letter to the Defence Secretary, alleged that the government prepared such letters and the government launched the said attacks mentioned in the letter. He said following the next protest, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa will be forced to step down, and these measures are being taken to crack down on protests. Duminda Nagamwa called on the people to rally against such attempts.
When News First inquired from police spokesperson SSP Nihal Talduwa in this regard, he stated that such a letter was forwarded by the IGP to the Defence Secretary. He said such letters are usually forwarded to the Defence Ministry to verify authenticity on the information received. Up next is Crime Watch.
Crime Watch.
A criminal gangster was shot dead by police during a shootout in Yakkala. Police spokesperson SSP Nihal Talduwa says a T-56 firearm was also recovered from the deceased suspect. According to reports, the gunned-down gangster was identified as Ihalavitanage Joseph Kumara, alias Alpitiye Joseph, aged 41. It is reported that he was a close associate of underworld gangster Ganemulla Sanjeeva. He is also suspected to have carried out a shooting at Bastian Mawatha in Colombo on the 30th of May. The Chief Administrative Officer of the Lanka Divisional Secretariat in Polonnaruwa was hacked to death with sharp weapons. Police say the 42-year-old was killed this morning. Polonnaruwa police are conducting further investigations into the incident.
Crime Watch.
Pranisha Thiagaraja was the judged winner of The Voice in Sri Lanka 2022 at the grand finale held at Stein Studios in Ratmalana last night. The grand finale of The Voice in Sri Lanka 2022 that awards the opportunity for the talented youth to showcase their singing ability took place at Stein Studios, Ratmalana last night. The four finalists who battled it out last night were Navodaya Pereira, Sasinu Ravin, Pranisha Thiagaraja and Russell Theminder. Even in these extremely difficult conditions, the Voice Teen Finals was reason to celebrate the talent and skill of our young people.
The Voice Teen Sri Lanka 2022. The one and only. You have chosen Pranisha. What?
Pranisha Tyagaraja, coached by Abhisheka Vimalavira, was crowned the winner of the grand finale.
In some tragic news overseas, Indian media reported that a private bus fell into a gorge in Himachal Pradesh's Kullu district today, leaving 16 people, including some school children, dead. The Kullu Deputy Commissioner said the bus fell into a gorge near the Jangla village at around 8:30 a.m. District officials and rescue teams have reached the spot and the injured were taken to a nearby hospital. From that, we bring to a close this edition of Lunchtime News on TV1. For details of the stories and much more, simply log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk. I'm Martin Satyanesan for the News First, where